Oh man, tariff resolution. The markets have just flipped. The update we've just got here from Treasury Secretary Bennett has changed the game for crypto. Altcoins are moving. Bitcoin is moving. Is this now the green light we needed to return back to those all-time highs for Bitcoin, to break through 110,000 and head higher? A big setup here on Bitcoin. Shout out to those of you who were buying in the trenches, right? And really, it wasn't even that bad at 74, 75. We called this move perfectly. If you've been following the content here on this channel, ever since we moved up here to 109 and created the new all-time high, I was calling for that pullback. I was calling for the pullback to retest the previous high. Any of you who are watching that, confirm that in the comments below. We spoke about retesting this level. We've got the perfect retest, and now look at this bounce, a very powerful bounce here to the upside here on Bitcoin. And the question now is going to be, how much higher can we go? Well, I do want to show you this chart, right, which is just looking at the horizontal pattern we've got here. This red box within the blue box is going to act as a little bit of support now. We managed to break through it with that powerful daily candle. We may need to just come back down and test it, okay? So we may need to just rotate here, test, and then bounce to the upside in order to break higher, create that new all-time high, and head towards those crazy price targets we want to see. Now, before we go into altcoins, let's take a look at what is moving the market. What's moving the market here is that we got an announcement that both China and the US would reduce their respective tariff rate by 115%. What's more exciting is this update I'm sharing with you, which has literally just come out, which is that Treasury Secretary Bennett says he's going to meet with China again in the next few weeks to work on a bigger agreement. Focus on this sentence here, guys. I would imagine in the next few weeks, we will be meeting again to get rolling on a more fulsome agreement. Really positive news. And what's even more positive about it is that Bitcoin dominance is falling. All coins are moving, which is exactly what we've been waiting for. Because the fact of the matter is, I know most of you watching this don't care that Bitcoin's up, right? Don't care that Bitcoin touched 105,000 or whatever it did in the last few hours. You care about your altcoins, right? You've got altcoins in your portfolio. You're waiting for altcoin season, because Bitcoin can move when the market is good or bad. It doesn't matter. It can act like a risk-on asset, it can act like a risk-off asset. But what we're seeing right now is risk is definitely rotating on, and we're seeing that as evident by the fact that Bitcoin dominance is falling and altcoins, broadly speaking, are in the green. I mean, you've seen Ethereum do particularly well over the last kind of couple of days. Makes you wonder if people got gist of this news kind of over the weekend early, because it was a powerful weekend. So again, never underestimate these kind of things in the market. There's always a bit of manipulation going on. Maybe people knew about the China-Trump deal. Feels odd that it got announced really early on a Monday when US markets are closed as well, which is also interesting. Now, if we jump on over to the traditional markets, you will see, just for full confirmation, that the pre-market is super green, right? NASDAQ futures up close to 4%, the S&P up 3%, and the Dow Jones up 2.5%. And again, you should not be surprised. Throughout this content on this channel, what have we said time and time again? We've said that this market is ready to explode. It's ready. It just needed the tariff situation to get resolved. I mean, let's take a look at my tweet here, which I tweeted earlier today. Exactly as I said, markets will U-turn once tariff issue is resolved. The underlying markets are healthy and bullish, right? We covered that, which is why it's super important for you to be a contrarian thinker. Do the opposite of what people are doing. When they're panicking, remain confident. Know that, look, the underlying thesis is fine and there's nothing wrong with the markets. Crypto is ready to rebound, which is exactly what we're seeing. Now, of course, you know, you're probably sitting there going, no, but altcoins are miles away from all-time highs. Yes, of course they are. For those of you who are FOMOing in and buying at the top of a bull market, for you, yes, you'll be at some painful price points, right? If you're looking at Solana, you're still quite far off. If you're looking at something like Cardano, you're still quite far off. I get it. But it's a good moment here for us to be bottoming out and starting our ascendancy towards some hopefully nicer price points. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't mention that we've got some really important numbers coming out this week, and it's going to kick off tomorrow with the CPI reading. Really important. Now, this could throw a spanner in the works, but it's important that we understand that the CPI may come in higher because of this tariff stuff, right? So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. You've got to understand that the number may come in a little bit higher, hot because of all this drama we've had. But hopefully now that the tariff situation is starting to resolve itself, hopefully we can start seeing CPI come really close to that 2% rate that the Fed keeps harping on about, which we need for those rate cuts. Now, incidentally, if we jump on over to the Fed rate monitor tool, let's take a look at what the markets are expecting. You're now getting about 10%, just shy of 10% of the market pricing in that we may get a rate cut at the next meeting in June. Probably not, right? I mean, more exciting is the chance of maybe getting one in July, which now sits at 40%. But again, if we get some good CPI data and some good news between now and it's the end of July, that FOMC meeting, we could be seeing a rate cut by the end of July, which could really, really help us in terms of the market. What else do we want to focus on here in the market is you want to see that the meme coins are moving, right? Now, it's not the newer pump fund type of meme coins. You're seeing the old guard of the meme coins really start to move. I mean, 4.65% here on Doge. Nice setup here, really starting to bounce from the bottoms. Shiba, I noticed, has gone for a really big breakout, which I shared the TA pattern on X as well. Make sure you check that out. Shiba is up 5%, creating a nice move here. I saw Bonk moving as well. Let's see if I can find the Bonk chart for you guys. Turbo up 1%, Nero up 2%. Floki up 15%. So you're seeing these dog coins really start to move. Slurf is up 16% as well. Cock USD is up 12%. I mean, you could see the point, right? It's meme season again, which is just a good indication that risk is rotating on, because memes tend to move first before you start to see some more solid projects move thereafter. So the question probably now on everybody's mind is now the time to enter? Are we going to get a pullback? You've got to be patient, guys. You've got to be patient. You've got to buy from position of strength. Let's take something like SUI, which I shared the analysis for earlier today on Twitter as well. Very extended from its EMA ribbon. Again, I wouldn't be chasing it. I'll be looking for a negative leg down to the EMA ribbon, 3.5, even 3.6. I want to be buying in these areas versus chasing up here. No point chasing. Wait for those pullbacks. Those pullbacks always come. Now, incidentally, there has been some rumors going around that Trump may be launching another meme coin for Truth Social. Again, whether or not that's true, it's something I'm going to be staying away from, guys. It's going to be a complete value grab, rug pull. Everybody's expecting this coin to be launched. Everyone's going to be on high alert. All the people in the trenches are going to be pounding on it, and you're going to get rugged. So unless you're a specialist trencher, stay away from any of those launches. Just buy yourself some good solid projects, sit back, relax, and let the market do its thing. And I think that's what's important. The main lesson to be learned from here is that understand not to be panicked out of your bags. If you look at exactly what's happened here over the last kind of 6 to 8 weeks, and hopefully I've helped coach you guys through some of this, it was a completely healthy market, an excited, market, which ran into Trump doing something really aggressive on the political front. And for whatever reason, the price led to then decline because people will rotate out. In those moments, you got to back your thesis. You got to back your investments. You got to back your bets and double down, because the reality is, in hindsight, it's always so super obvious, but in this case, we knew the market was healthy, right? And there's so many examples of that happening, whether it's a war, whether it's some tensions, whether it's some announcement from a company or something else that's shaking the market. Those are the times you're going to get some nice juicy discounts, and we got proven that again here. Now, if I show you here on the Bitcoin chart, I do just want to finish off by showing you our trusted EMA ribbon. Nice big move here from Bitcoin and the EMA ribbon. I wouldn't be surprised for it to come down, guys. I would not be surprised for it to want to come down to EMA ribbon, or at least that kind of 100k mark, just to collect some support before heading higher. Remember, I did show you this chart as well, which shows you this red area which sits around that 100k level, which would tie in perfectly with this red resistance turn support rectangle, which I'm sharing with you. Once we clear through this green box, 106 and onwards, we might need to retest that box. So maybe this arrow looks more something like on the way out, comes back one more time, and then goes. That's something I'll be looking for. And again, Bitcoin, right? The most obvious bet known to mankind. Bitcoin's the easy one, but unfortunately, everybody wants to pile into altcoins. And time again, like I've said on this channel, eat your veg, right? Really make sure you're buying Bitcoin. Make sure you're buying Ethereum. I know Ethereum's taking a hard time, but just look how quickly Ethereum bounces back. Everybody wants to doubt these kind of coins, but these are the biggest projects in crypto for a reason. And Ethereum is still, even after this crazy move to the upside, I mean, we were as low as, 13, 1400 on Ethereum. Now you're already back up at 2600 on Ethereum. Insane move on Ethereum, but still, I think it's undervalued. Still, I think it's going to produce a good risk to return to the upside. I'll be surprised if this cycle doesn't end with anything less than $6,000 for an Ethereum token. So there you have it, guys. Trump U-turn with China. Big news on the tariff side. And finally, we can start to look ahead. We can look ahead to those CPI readings. We can look ahead to those rate cuts, which we want to see later this year. Now, of course, bit of a caveat. Don't expect us just to completely be free. There will be some ups and downs, but at least we know they're trying to figure out this tariff situation. There may be some more negotiation tactics. There may be more tweets from Trump. It may move the market a little bit, but we're heading in the right direction. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of content, smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe. And also, if you want to trade, check out BITUNIX. Link is in the description, offering some amazing rebates of up to 20% when you deposit. So check that out. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.